Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, to the beautiful Adelaide Oval. It is the ANZAC Day Challenge Cup game, a 17-game history between both clubs. It is the Australian Defence Force leading at 9-8. Of course, they're taking on today the Aces. It should be a ripping contest. Of course, they're made up of different emergency services staff around Australia. So looking forward to this contest. As I mentioned, 9-8 the way of the Australian Defence Force. So the Aces looking to even the ledger, and the Australian Defence Force trying to make it 10-8. Could not get better conditions for footy today at, in my opinion, probably one of the best stadiums in the world, and certainly one of the best in Australia, that's for sure, from a spectator's perspective. And of course the players certainly enjoy it out there as well, no doubt. The ground is soaked in sunshine, beautiful conditions, and we should be in for a cracking contest. My name is Bevan Jones. I am today's commentator. And the Aces have dedicated their game to Dazzy McRae, the Aces singer and commentator who passed away suddenly this year. Stephen Tuffer, the paramedic who was murdered at McDonald's in Sydney. And of course Constable Rachel McCrow and Constable Matthew Arnold, who were tragically murdered in the Wieambilla, Queensland ambush situation as well. We're underway. The Aces have it now on the wing. Terrific tackle laid by the Australian Defence Force player there in Jake Hinder. And they had the first forward entry of the game. The ball goes out of play. We'll have a boundary throw-in. So in the ruck we've got Ryan for the Aces. He's up against last. Ryan wins it down. Quick snap at goal from the Defence Force. Goes through for a minor score. And as the first score of the ball game, that minor score was kicked by Matt Hood. And the Australian Defence Force lead it 1-0. Aces play on straight away. Almost a mark taken there by the Defence Force. Quick key out of the pack by the Aces. Goes out of bounds on the full. And the free kick will go the way of the Australian Defence Force. The man to have that is Daniel Hines from the Korporoo Footy Club. That was Reichman, went short to his teammate there in cheek. Switches played dangerously. Works out okay though. Tackles applied. Quick hands by the Aces as they go towards their forward line for the first time today. Kicks by the man with the helmet from the Aces through for their first minor score of the game. That was from French, and it's 1 point apiece. Williams will kick in duties for the Australian Defence Force. He goes short. Umpire calls play on. Hines has it. Been busy early stages of this first term. Ball's smothered and we'll have a boundary throw-in. In the forward pocket for the Aces. Going towards the northern end of this ground in the first term. Be Ryan up against Williams. Quick hit out of the pack again by Hines. He's been very busy in the early stages of the game so far. As the Aces go inside 50 again. Almost the mark taken. Ball comes to ground. Quick kick out of the pack. And the ball stays in play. Here's the Australian Defence Force. And a good mark taken there by the Aces from Pearce. Spent a bit of time with the Western Bulldogs. One of a few Victorians playing for the Aces today. Just inside the forward 50. Beautiful kick, and he finds his skipper there in Rayson. Fellow Victorian. Deep in the forward pocket for the Aces. He plays on, snaps around the left. And it goes out of bounds on the full. The Australian Defence Force will have it deep inside their defensive 50. A bit of a sloppy kick. And the ball goes out of play. And we'll have another boundary throw-in. 1 point apiece so far, early stages of the first term. In this ANZAC Day Challenge Cup match, as I mentioned before. The ledger is the way of Australian Defence Force at the moment, 9-8. Ryan wins the hit down. That was against Story. Umpires picked out a free kick, and it will go the way of the Australian Defence Force. Goes short, finds the teammate there in Hood. As the Defence Force try to clear their defensive 50. Tackle's applied. Another tackle's applied. And the umpire calls holding the ball. Great work by Daniel Hines. Geez, he's been really busy early stages of this first quarter. Hines switches. Out of side of the ground. Beautiful kick and finds his team out there in Klooster. From the Curra Swans in AFL Townsville. His kick goes astray. The Aces have it now. Ryan, a bit of a torp. Love to see those. Goes inside 50. Almost smart taken there by Havelberg. Good defence by the Australian Defence Force. Forces a minor score. And that makes it a lead now of 2-1 the way of the Aces. Beautiful conditions for footy as Mackie kicks out now for the Australian Defence Force. Ball goes out of play. We'll have another boundary throw-in. Of course, this is the curtain raiser for the Port Adelaide West Coast game, which kicks off at 1:15 today. Should be a cracking contest. Power going for 3 games in a row. 3 wins in a row, I should say. Defence Force have it now. Grandstand side of the ground. Quick handball out of the pack, but that was from last. Attacking the footy well for the Aces there was Egglestone. Mark's taken, immediately plays on. That was Egglestone again. And a man who's been busy in these early stages of the first quarter is Pearce. And he has kicked the first score of the game. Terrific work there by the former Western Bulldog. And the Aces move along to 1-2-8. The Australian Defence Force just the one behind. Played just over 8 minutes in this first quarter. Just to mention as well, the Australian Defence Force game, they're dedicating it today to the all past and currently serving members, and especially the ANZACs as well. Of course, they do a wonderful job of representing our country and putting their lives on the line. So thanks so much to all the work they do. As now he kicks inside 50 for the Australian Defence Force. Running after it there and doing well was Egglestone for the Aces. He's tackled and the umpire will call the ball up. Deep inside the forward 50 of the Australian Defence Force. They're trailing it at the moment, one behind. Aces 1-2. We'll have another boundary throw-in. Umpire's just having a chat. Yep, we'll have another boundary throw-in. Be Ryan up against last. Last wins it down, does really well. In a dangerous position for the Aces as they look to clear out of their defence. A chain of handballs, works out okay. Mark isn't taken there by Ryan. Nawi plays on for the Defence Force, but a good mark in the last line defence is taken by Davis. for the Aces. He plays on immediately. Kicks down the wing. Out of side the ground. An excellent mark taken by Harrison. He goes short and finds his teammate. Murphy has it now for the Aces. Errant kick. And an easy mark taken there on the chest by Klooster. Plays on immediately, finds Reichman. Reichman switches. Dangerous kick. Good work there. That was for the Aces. Plays on immediately. That was terrific work by Egglestone. And he's found a teammate up ahead. And there'll be another chance to have a shot at goal for their second. And the man is Hauerberg. Man who has the Central Districts Football Club record of 14 goals in a game against Norwood back in 2007. Also a three-time premiership player for Centrals here in the Sandful. Thanks to my cameraman Scotty Fisher for those great stats. Should go back and kick his team's second goal and his first of the game. And he does that. Beautiful kick at goal, Daniel Haverberg. And the Aces move along to 2 goals, 1. Defence force the 2 behinds. Closing stages of the first term. Of course, we play 4 15-minute quarters in this ANZAC Day Challenge Cup game. Sensational conditions for footy. Makes you want to put the boots on and get out there yourself, that's for sure. I'm sure the players are loving it. So we'll have Ryan for the Aces in the ruck. He'll be up against Doyle. Doyle wins it down. Straight to Murphy. He's tackled immediately. Great tackle applied by Doyle, following up his work in the ruck. Once again, Doyle up against Ryan. Doyle wins it down. Goes to Murphy again. Oh, terrific hands there. Ends up with Barillo for the Australian Defence Force. They go inside 50 again. And the ball goes out of play. We'll have a boundary throw in. Be Ryan up against last. Ryan falls over. No one wins the tap. Number of players around the footy, and we'll have another ball up. Deep inside the forward 50 for the Australian Defence Force. Ryan wins it down. Quick kick out of the pack. Goes away, unfortunately, straight to the hands of the Australian Defence Force. That was their ruckman there in Doyle, who plays it immediately to Hines, who's been busy in this first term. And it's a great kick and an equally great mark taken by Hinder for the Australian Defence Force, who will go back and have a shot at goal for his team's potential first of the game. Directly in front, 20 metres out. The man from South Fremantle in the waffle. Beautiful kick at goal. And that's the Australian Defence Force's first goal of the game. So Ryan up against Doyle again in the ruck. As the defence force looks to go inside 50 again. So a number of players around the footy. Aces look to clear their defence and do well through. Oh, though the handballs there was spilled, but luck's a fortune. And the Aces have it now grandstand side of the wing. Mark taken by the defence force again. Players are trying to feel each other out in these early stages of the game. As the pack forms and the ball is knocked out of play, we'll have another boundary throw-in. Be Ryan up against Doyle again. Ryan wins it down. As the Australian Defence Force goes inside 50 again. Number of players around the footy as umpires picked out a free kick. And it will go the way of the Aces. And that is caught its own, folks. As the Aces, with a tight first quarter, leading it by a few points, with the 2 goals on the board, and the Australian Defence Force with the 1 goal on board so far. What's been an entertaining first quarter. Of course, this is the ANZAC Day Challenge Cup. Currently stands as 9-8 between these 2 teams overall, the way of the Australian Defence Force. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with turn number 2 very soon. Welcome back to this ANZAC Day Challenge Cup clash between the Aces and the Australian Defence Force. Of course, the Aces are made up of emergency services around Australia. It's been a very entertaining first quarter. It is the Aces leading it by 1 straight kick at the moment, 2 goals 2 to 1 goal 2. beautifully sun-soaked Adelaide Oval. Perfect conditions for footy. We'll have Story up against Ryan to kick off the second quarter. Story wins it down. As players descend on the footy and we'll have a ball up. About 60 metres away from the Aces goal. Once again, it will be Story up against Ryan. No one's able to win the hit out. The umpire has picked out a free kick, and it will go the way of Presler for the Aces. He plays on immediately. Handballs to his teammate then Harrison. Deep inside the forward 50 for the Aces. Play still in. Snap at goal is marked for the Aces. And the man with the ball in his hands is Kirk. As we see so often in modern footy these days, does a snap around the body. It's a bit of a shank. Ball still in play. Now it's gone out of play and we'll have a boundary throw-in. Deep inside the forward 50 for the Aces. As I mentioned, leading it by one straight kick at the moment. 2 goals 2 to 1 goal 2 over the Australian Defence Force. Story and Ryan again to go at it in the ruck. Ryan wins it down. The Australian Defence Force try to clear their defensive 50. Ball's kicked by the Aces out on the full. And Hines will have it now for the Australian Defence Force. Actually, it won't be Hines. It will be Klooster. Nicholas Klooster from the Curra Swans in the AFL Townsville. Certainly be used to these warm conditions. As he kicks grandstand side of the ground, looking for a teammate there. As the Australian Defence Force play on immediately. Switching. No one's able to take the mark. Lucks of fortune. And the ball is in the hands of Kirk again. Out of sight of the ground. Kirk goes on inside 50. Oh, almost a terrific mark taken there by French, but the umpires said it was an unrealistic attempt. And a free kick will go the way of Haynes for the Australian Defence Force from the Coburn Lakes Warriors in Toowoomba. One of a few Queenslanders out there today for his side. An errant kick there by Haynes. And Kirk has it again. Goes in 550 for the Aces. Hoberg unable to take the mark. Good defence there by White for the Defence Force as they look to clear their defence again. Hines plays on. Busy in that first term. He was looking for his teammate in Hinder. Inside 50 again for the Aces. Another shot at goal. Goes through for their third of the game. And that's Haberberg's second. The Aces move along to 3 goals 2-20. They lead it over the Australian Defence for 1 goal 2-8. Early stages of the second term. What's going to be Ryan up against Story? Ryan wins it down. Rayson fumbles. Goes back though and does well. Applies a tackle on Nawi for the Defence Force. Wins himself a free kick. Well done for the skipper there, Rayson. Plays on him. Oh, the umpire calls him back. Skipper of the Aces from Victoria. As the Aces look to go inside 50 again. It's been all them in this first quarter. Great forward pressure applied there by the Aces, but the Australian Defence Force do well through a string of handballs. And a chest mark is taken by Bucks. He plays on immediately. Goes short to his teammate in Hinder. Solidly built man. He goes to cheek. Does well. Umpire's picked out another free kick. Will go the way of the Defence Force. That's Hines. Jeez, he's been busy so far in this game. He switches outer side of the ground. Grandstand side. Defence Force going side 50 again. Ryan does well in defence for the Aces. Shillabeer, quick kick out of the pack. It's all though the Defence Force. Terrific tackle applied by the Aces, wins possession. Luck's a fortune for the Defence Force, and they have it now outer side wing. Williams goes backwards, and it, almost a mark taken by Holder. The umpire's picked out a free kick, and Holder will take that. Plays on immediately, finds his teammate in Williams again, running on and doing well. Rowan Williams from the Norwest Jets. Davis for the Aces. Unable to take the mark. There was Doyle for the Defence Force. Does well though. But the Aces were about to go inside 50. But Defence Force maintaining good defence in the early stages of this second quarter with a number of forward 50 entries for the Aces. Only the one goal so far in this term. Kicked by Havelberg from the Aces. As an errant kick, terrifically smothered there by Harrison. He goes inside 50, but luck's a fortune for the Defence Force. And the last line defence, Mackie has it now and goes short to Klooster. Klooster finds a teammate up ahead in Reichman. Got leads coming towards him. Goes short. Unable to take the mark there was Gallett for the Defence Force. A terrific tackle applied, and we'll have a ball up. Grandstand side of the ground. Be Ryan up against Story again. Doing well there is Pearce. Already the one goal for him so far today. The ball's gone out of play and we'll have another boundary throw-in. The Aces leading it halfway through the second term. 3 goals, 220 to the Australian Defence Force, 1 goal, 2-8. Havelberg and Pearce, the goal scorers for the Aces so far. Ryan again. Up against Doyle on that occasion. Ryan wins it down. Rayson's tackled. The umpire will call another ball up. Just inside the forward 50 for the Aces. Doyle again up against Ryan. Ryan wins it down. Murphy does well. Ends up in the hands of Rayson. Spills the ball out of play. We'll have another ball up. Inside the forward 50 of the Aces, where the ball's been spending a lot of time in the second quarter so far. Only the 1 goal kicked so far from the Aces by Havelberg. So the Defence Force have done well to hold up, considering all these inside 50s that they've had to deal with in this second quarter so far. Holder has it now for the Defence Force. He goes short to Hines, who's bought his own footy so far today. He's been very busy, Daniel Hines. Errant kick though, straight to his opponent for the Aces. And the mark is taken by Pridgeon. He goes towards the forward 50 for the Aces, but a good mark taken in defence by Klooster. He goes short and finds Doyle. Doyle switches, looking for Mackie. Plays on immediately, as the defence force are liking to do quite a bit today so far. And a good kick finds Morris, who takes a good contested grab. Morris was looking for Johnson, went over his head. Terrific defence there by the Aces. That was excellent work by Pearce. And we'll have another boundary throw in. So Ryan again, doing all the ruck work so far today for the Aces. He's up against Doyle. Doyle wins it down. Inside forward 50 for the defence force. One of the rare times in the second quarter. The umpires picked out a free kick, and it will go the way of Daniel Hines, the boy from Corporoo. Been one of the best players on the ground so far today. He's been excellent for his Australian Defence Force side. So here have a shot at goal about 30 metres out on a slight angle. Looking to kick the second goal for his team and his first of the day. Not a drop of wind, perfect conditions for footy. Here goes Hines. It's not a bad kick, but it's faded away through for a minor score. The Australian Defence Force, they move on to 1 goal 3-9. They trail the Aces 3 goals 2-20. The Aces play on immediately. Good mark taken on the chest there by Jack White. He switches to Hines. Why not? How good he's been so far today. Now he has it now for the Australian Defence Force. So they go inside 50 again. Mark spilled by Rayson. As Rayson has it now on the outer side. Plays on immediately. Terrific kick straight onto the chest of Murphy for the Aces, as he likes to do what most players have done today, play on immediately. Great tackle applied. That was on Klooster for the Australian Defence Force. Mark unable to be taken there by Gallets. Defence Force have it though. So 2 on 2. Doing well was Murphy for the Aces. With the opposite foot. He's looking for Rayson. Rayson does well. Hits it across to Murphy again. He falls over. Excellent work by Murphy. He found Kirk. But really good work in defence. That was by Gray of the Australian Defence Force. Aces go inside 50 again. One of the many occasions in the second quarter so far. And a mark taken by Harrison. Kicks deep inside forward 50. And it's Mackie now for the Defence Force. He was looking ahead for Holder. It was a 1-on-1. Murphy does well for the Aces. We'll have a boundary throw in. Aces leading it so far, 3 goals 2-20. So the Australian Defence Force 1 goal 3-9. Late in the second quarter. At a beautiful sun-soaked Adelaide Oval. My name's Bevan Jones. Hope you're enjoying this terrific contest so far. Doing well for the Aces was Presley. Earned himself a free kick. As they say, put your head over the footy and most of the time you'll get yourself a free kick. So Corey Presler on a tight angle. Plays on, handballs along to his teammate in Murphy. Has a shot at goal. Goes through for a minor score. The Aces move along to 3 goals 3-21. They lead it over the Defence Force 1 goal 3-9. Reichman now. As the Defence Force look to clear their defence. Got a few players up ahead. He's looking for Nowie. Doing well for the Aces in defence there was Murphy. We'll have another boundary throw in. It'll be Story up against Ryan. And that is half time, folks. It's been a very entertaining first half. And it's the Aces leading it 3 goals 3-21 over the Australian Defence Force, 1 goal 3-9. Harrelberg and Pearce, the goal scorers so far, Harrelberg with 2, Pearce for the 1. And the Australian Defence Force, not sure who kicked their goal. We'll get that one back to you later on. We'll be back very soon with the second half. Of course, this ANZAC Day Challenge Cup clash. Hope you enjoy the telecast. Back soon. Back underway here in the third term for the ANZAC Day Challenge Cup. It's currently the Aces leading at 3 goals to 20 to 1 goal to 8 for the Australian Defence Force. Defence Force kicking towards the southern end of the ground at the moment, and the Aces are northern. It's inside the Defence Force's 50. Hasn't spent a lot of time in the second term, but from the Aces' point of view, there probably could have been a few more goals up, but probably credit to the defence of the Australian Defence Force for withholding a lot of inside 50 challenges. As Ryan wins it down for the Aces, the umpire's picked out a free kick. It'll go the way of the Defence Force. And the man with the ball in his hands is Blake Lane from UQ, part of the Queensland AFL. Looking to kick his first of the game and his team's second. About 48 metres out. Slight angle. Errant kick. Unable to take the mark was his teammate there. Doing well though was Hinder, as the Aces look to clear their defensive 50. The ball goes out of play. We'll have a boundary throw-in. Be Ryan again for the Aces. Winning it down though was Doyle on that occasion. Hinder unable to take the mark. Great tackle applied there from Bucks of the Defence Force. The umpire's going to call the ball up. 20 metres out, directly in front of the goal the Defence Force are kicking towards in this third term. Ryan wins it down. Snap at goal there was from Last. Dangerous position for the Aces. Number of players around the footy. A soccer there, that was from Dilger. Goes for a minor score. And the Australian Defence Force move along to 1 goal 3-9. They trail the Aces 3 goals 2-20. Early stages of the third term. Playing on was Evrianides for the Aces. Unable to take the mark there was Harrison. Does well though and finds a teammate there in Egglestone. Umpires picked out a free kick. Will go the way of the Defence Force for holding the ball. Top work there from Morris as he goes across to his teammate there in Stummer. Directly in front of the player's box. Stummer was looking for Last. It's gone out of bounds on the full. Free kick to go the way of the Aces. Playing on there immediately was Egglestone. Big pack forms. The umpires picked out a free kick. Calls play on. Noe is tackled really well. The umpire will call the ball up. Centre wing of this sun-soaked Adelaide Oval. Be Ryan up against Doyle again. Doyle wins it down. Tackle applied immediately. And we'll have another ball up. Ryan up against Doyle again. Ryan wins it down as Doyle fell over. Racing the quick hands out of the pack. Put his team under all sorts of pressure and we'll have another ball up. Certainly many of those so far in the game. Doyle and Ryan at it again. Doyle wins it down. Tackles applied on the Aces and doing well, earning himself a free kick. for the Australian Defence Force is Cheek, command from Tungamar. Of course, those just joining us, the Defence Force lead the overall tally so far between these two sides, 9-8. Cheek switches, beautiful kick, and he finds White. Jack White from the Coburn Lakes Warriors. Absolute shank. He's kicked it straight to his opposition there in Murfitt. And he's had his kick smothered. Turnover City in the last 30 seconds. A good tackle applied. Doing well was last for the Defence Force, and we'll have another ball up. The Ace is currently leading at 3 goals, 220. Defence Force 1 goal, 3-9. Doyle wins it down. Goes straight to the opposition in Kirk. He's tackled. And the umpire will call another ball up. Of course, we have 4 15-minute quarters in this game. ANZAC Day Challenge Cup game. Barillo kicks inside 50 for the Defence Force. Gallett was looking for his teammate up ahead, and the ball goes through for a minor score. And the Defence Force move along to a 1 goal, 4-10. They trail the Aces 3 goals, 220. About halfway through the third term. As an excellent mark is taken for the Australian Defence Force. They go inside 50 again. Definitely the scoring of the ground so far. Hines soccers it on. Been very busy in the first half for his side, the Defence Force. As the ball goes through for another minor score. Peppering the goals at the moment, the Defence Force, but unfortunately they can't make it some majors. They move on to 1 goal, 5-11 to 3 goals, 220. Another shank. Been quite a few of those clangers so far today. A few players obviously a bit rusty. Williams has it for the Defence Force. Was looking for Lane. Does well. Kicks it inside 50 again. Hinder a 2-on-1. The Aces doing well in defence. It goes through for another minor score. Defence Force 1 goal, 6-12 now. 8 points adrift of the Aces. 3 goals, 220. 2-on-2. A mark spilled and a tackle applied, and we'll have another ball up. Be Ryan up against Doyle again. Ryan's done all the ruck work today for the Aces. They hasn't had no much of a break at all. He's done a great job. The Aces go inside 50. Rayson unable to take the mark. Doing well in defence. Terrific work. That was by White of the Defence Force. The umpires picked out a free kick. Hellberg has got his opponent there high in Mackey. And in the last line of defence, Mackey will have it now for the Defence Force looking to clear their defence. As he kicks, it's a long kick, but unfortunately, or almost went straight to the Aces. Good enough though to play on. And a mark taken by Osborne. He was looking for Havelberg. Havelberg unable to take the mark. Good defence by the Defence Force. Quick snap by Kirk. It will go straight to his opponent. And the Defence Force look to clear defence again. Got it deep inside their defensive 50. The pack forms. Unable to take the mark was Story. A tackle was applied on Bramich of the Aces, and we'll have another ball up. Once again, Ryan up against Story. These two have gone at it all day today so far. Story wins it down. It's a 1-on-1 contest. Luxor Fortune ends up in the hands now of Lane. And terrific kick by Lane. He's found Hinder. the man from South Fremantle in the waffle for the Defence Force, has been busy today so far, Jake Hinder. He's on a tight angle, looking to kick his team's second goal. Currently trailing it by 8 points, the Defence Force. Here goes Hinder. Beautiful kick. Straight through for a major. And the Defence Force move along to 2 goals, 6-18. They only trail now by 2 points. Aces are 3 goals, 2-20. Late in the third term here at the Adelaide Oval in this ANZAC Day Challenge Cup clash. Perfect conditions for footy. My name's Bevan Jones. I hope you're enjoying what's been a very entertaining game so far. Of course, we've got Port Adelaide and West Coast kicking off at 1:15 today. Port going for 3 wins in a row. Here's Doyle up against Doyle up against Ryan, I should say. Ryan doing well. Good second effort by him. Cheek with the opposite foot, kicks it inside 50 again. And a terrific mark taken by Hood. He plays on immediately for the Defence Force. Switches. And finds Daniel Hines, being probably one of the best players on the ground so far today. He kicks inside 50. Hinder unable to take the mark. Quick snap at goal. That was from Bucks. But doing well in the last line defence. For the Aces was Egglestone. Ball, grandstand side on the wing. Good ball movement by the Aces. Unable to take the mark with the Aces there, but Murphy on the left went through for a minor score and takes his team to 3 goals, 3-21. They lead it by 3 points over the Australian Defence Force for 2 goals, 6-18. Later stages of the third term here at the Adelaide Oval. Chance for the Aces to have another shot at goal. Unable to take the mark there was Kirk. He's set upon and will have another ball up. About 40 metres out directly in front of the goals of the Aces. Ryan again up against Story on that occasion. Story's tackled. Umpire will have another ball up. Certainly many ball ups today in this game. Ryan does well. And that is the end of the third quarter, folks. Of course, we have 4 15-minute quarters. Bit of push and shove. Definitely not just a friendly kick in the park this game. There's a lot on the line between these two sides. And at 3/4 time, it is the Aces leading at 3 goals, 3-21 over the Australian Defence Force, 2 goals, 6-18. We'll be back with the final quarter very soon. Welcome back to this ANZAC Day Challenge Cup. My name's Bevan Jones, and it's currently the Aces leading it by a narrow margin at three-quarter time. 3 goals, 4-22 over the Defence Force, 2 goals, 6-18. Defence Force probably could have been almost ahead. They had many opportunities inside 50 in that third quarter, but trailing it by 4 at this stage. Of course, the Australian Defence Force dedicate this game today to all past and currently serving members, and especially the ANZACs, I should say. And the Aces have dedicated their game to Daz McRae, Aces singer and commentator who passed away suddenly this year. Stephen Tuffer, the paramedic murdered at McDonald's in Sydney, and Constable Rachel McCrow, and Matthew Arnold, sadly murdered in the Wyambilla, Queensland ambush. As plays underway in the final term, Murphy has it now for the Aces. They go inside 50. Almost a mark taken by Mackie. As the Aces have put on their 4th goal of the game, they move on to 4 goals, 4-28. Leading the Defence Force 2 goals, 6-18. Early stages of the final term. The overall result between these two sides in their 17-game history is the Defence Force leading at 9-8. So the Ace is looking to even the ledger today. As Ryan goes up against Doyle. We'll have another ball up. Ryan, great work. Doing well for the Aces, or the umpires said it was a throw. And Cheek for the Defence Force will have it now. He switches. Beautiful pass. And found his teammate there in Morris. An errant kick, though, goes the way of the Aces now. They look to go inside 50 again. Bit of turnover Sydney the last 30 seconds, and a mark in defence taken by Gallett. And he kicks it straight to his opposition in French. French does well and has found his skipper in Rayson. Slight angle. About 15 metres out from goal. Chance to put on the 5th goal for his side. Here he goes. Fortunately went through for a minor. And the Aces move along now to 4 goals, 5-29. The leader Defence Force 2 goals, 6-18. Played a few minutes in this final term. It's a big pack forms. Ryan goes to ground. Tackles applied, and we'll have another ball up. Ryan up against Doyle again. Ryan, another big hit out. Goes away, though, of Morris. He was looking for a teammate ahead of play in Dilger. A 2-on-1, and he's given away the free kick. As the Aces play in again, straight away. In the hands now of Egglestone. Egglestone kicks inside 50. Looking for Havelberg. A terrific mark in defence. A contested grab there by Gray. Plays on and finds Cheek. Been busy in this final term so far. Josh Cheek from Tungamar. With that raking left foot. Looking for a teammate up the ground. But an easy mark is taken by Ryan. He goes short and finds Egglestone for the Aces. Been busy in this final term for his side. Unfortunately, for the Aces' point of view, the ball's gone out in the full, and it will be a free kick the way of the Defence Force. Currently trailing it 4 goals, 5-29 to 2 goals, 6-18. So there's still a chance for the Defence Force to win this game, but they'll need to get some goals in a hurry. Here's Johnson. Plays on immediately. Looking for a team up the ground there in Hood. Not able to take the mark. Putting his pressure under all sorts of... His team under pressure there was Dilger. As a number of players are around the footy, and we'll have a ball up. Stacks on the mill, as the great Rex Hunt would like to call it. And we'll have Doyle up against Ryan again in the ruck. Doyle does well on this occasion. Socket out of the pack. Rayson fumbles. A 2-2. Doing really well. Unfortunately, another fumble though from the Aces. And the ball goes out of play. That was from... We'll have a boundary throw-in. This time it will be Murfitt up against Story. Rayson does well, puts his head over the footy and earns himself a free kick. The skipper of the Aces, been busy today. And a chance now to put his team's 5th on the board, and he'll go short. Loose checking. And it's now Pridgeon for the Aces. Directly in front of goal, about 40 metres out. Chance to extend his team's current 11-point lead. Plays on. Bit of a shank. Ball still in play. And Kirk is tackled high. He's earned himself a free kick for the Aces. And you have it deep inside his team's forward 50 on a very tight angle. Very distinctive orange boots there, Kirky. Snap with the opposite foot. Goes out in the full. And Defence Force will look to clear their defence. Gray has it now. The man from Arafura. He goes short. Finds his teammate in Reichman. The Defence Force still looking to clear their defence. Reichman looking for a teammate up the ground. A terrific contested grab taken there by Story for the ADF. Story is looking for a teammate up ahead. That was Bucks. But the Aces doing well, and they go inside 50 again. Man with the footy now for the Defence Force is Gray. He goes short. It's a 1-2. Gray doing really well to run on. And an excellent contested mark. It's taken by the Australian Defence Force player there in Hood. Matt Hood. 60 metres out from goal. Needs to get a move on. Goes short and finds Barillo. One of the Barillos out there today, Tom Barillo. Also got Brad. Tom kicks inside forward 50 for the Defence Force, but a wonderful mark in defence. Was taken by Pearce. Man who spent a bit of time with the Western Bulldogs. He goes short and finds Pridgeon. Pridgeon was looking for Murphy. It's a 1-on-1. Murphy does well. Handballs to his teammate. They're in Davis. Davis looking up ahead. Unable to tighten them up. There was Murfitt. Good defence applied by the ADF. And a tackle's applied. Ball spills out. Having it now on the wing for the ADF was Mackie. He's found a teammate ahead there in Barillo. The ADF currently trailing it by 11. 4 goals 5-29 to 2 goals 6-18. They'll need to get a move on though if they want to still win this game. Tom Barillo. On a slight angle about 40 metres out. He's going to go back and have a shot. Here he goes. Plays on. Unfortunately, it's gone out of bounds on the full. And the Aces will have it now in defence. Pack forms. Unable to take the mark. There was Davis for the Aces. And Rayson, who's been busy in this final term, in absolutely no hurry at all, the skipper for the Aces. Has it now. Outer wing. Mackie for the defence force. He's kicked it straight to his opponent. There, an easy mark taken by Davis for the Aces. Davis kicks to a pack. And the mark taken by Havelberg, three-time premiership player with Central District Footy Club here in the Sandful. Kicked a couple of goals today already. Also holds the club record of 14 goals in a game for his Doggies back in 2007. That was against the Nord Football Club. It's Holt now. A man from Tassie who will have a shot at goal and pretty much ice the game here if he can kick truly for his side. Here goes Holt. Not a bad kick. And it's gone through for a major. And that could be the sealer. The Aces move on to 5 goals, 5-35. They lead the defence force 2 goals, 6-18. Hope you're enjoying this ANZAC Day Challenge Cup clash at a beautifully sun-soaked Adelaide Oval. Of course, last week we had the 6 games here, and the curator's done a wonderful job of keeping the ground in such awesome condition. Ryan up against Story in the ruck. Story wins it down. Doing well is Cheek. Takes a bounce. Goes inside 50. And the ball ends up in the hands now for the defence force. That is Lane. Blake Lane. Directly in front of goal. He'll have a shot about 30 metres out. It's from the QAFL. And one of the 23 SQN units, members for the Australian Defence Force. And he's kicked his first of the game. Maybe, just maybe, there's still a chance for the Defence Force. They move on to 3 goals, 6-24. They trail the Aces 5 goals, 5-35 late in this final term. Ryan again. He's up against Doyle. Hinder was tackled. Does well though and finds Hines, who's been really busy today, particularly in the first half. Unable to take the mark for the Aces was Everinides. So they look to clear their defence. Got a 3-on-1 and the umpire's picked out a free kick. It will go the way of the defence force. Deep inside, forward 50 for the defence force. And a mark is taken. Oh, the umpire's said it. It was off hands and we'll have another ball up. Deep inside. The defensive 50 for the Aces. A quick kick out of the pack. Unable to take the mark there for the defence force was Gray. French was looking for a teammate ahead, and that is Murfitt, who does well, taking the diving chest mark. solidly built fella, Murphy, from Tassie. One of a few Tassie boys out there today. The pack forms. No one's able to take the mark. Got a 3-on-1 now. Here's French with that distinctive helmet. He was looking for Rayson. Rayson's unable to take the mark. A snap at goal, though. Go through for another major. And that, folks, I reckon is the ball game now. Rayson, the skipper, terrific work by him. And the Aces move along to 6 goals, 5-41. They lead the defence force 3 goals, 6-24. Late in the final term. And that is the ball game, folks. The Aces win the ANZAC Day Challenge Cup. They even the ledger now at 9 apiece. The final scores 6 goals, 5-41 over the defence force, 3 goals, 6-24. I hope you enjoyed this coverage. A big thanks to a camera guy, Scott Fisher, did a wonderful job today. And we'll be back again for 2024. Thanks so much.